This is videos to for the blueprint reading class. We're doing the model of the wall section, and I'm going to show you in this quick video how to draw your wall section. That way, once you draw it, you can have the studs, the rafters, and the joists that you need for your model. So I didn't ask you in class to do to do the wall section or to draw the wall section, but I'm gonna ask you to do that. Each one of you have to have your own wall section, even though if you're in groups, doesn't matter. Uh, you still have to do your own wall section. Okay, so let me walk you through it. Maybe it's not gonna be as detailed in class. We'll finish it and I'll add all the detail. What I want you to have at least are the members that you need to start cutting for your model. Now we're gonna draw this in CAD full scale. Now, if you haven't not gone over layers or you don't know which layers to use, don't worry about it. We're gonna do everything layer on layer 0 for now, and then we'll make the changes in class. Okay, so just to recap, this right here is the wall section goes from the ground all the way to the roof. So we're doing a wall section for it's a slab foundation, and it's a brick veneer uh, home. So when we went to the house to go see it, we talked about all the members. We talked about the sole plate or seal plate. We discussed about the cavity. It's inside it. That's where the insulation is going to go. We discussed about the top plate. Okay. We talked about the rafters. We talked about the ceiling joists. Okay. And we talked about the sheathing and then the vapor barrier that goes there and then the airspace and the brick. Okay. So what we've seen here is that. Okay. We're cutting through the foundation. We see the beam, see the footing right here. We see the slab. This is the dirt. This is the select compact fill dirt that they bring in, right? This yellow you see here, right here and hidden, that's the rebar. Okay, we have seen images of this. These are the J bolts. Okay, that's how they attach it, and we saw that in the field trip, or another field trip, the house we went to. Okay, and then this is the brick ledge, and we saw that too. The brick comes all the way down, sits here, and then the sheathing right here. You can have a flashing right here, and we saw that one over there in the house, and then this is the airspace. Okay, so just so you can have an idea what is that we're seeing. Again, this is your foundation. This is your stud right here. Well, not that. That's the insulation. The stud, it goes. Let me get rid of this. The stud is from here to here. That's the stud. From here to here, it's inside of the home. That's your sheetrock, and from here to here, that's your sheathing. Okay, from here to here, that's your airspace, and from here to here, that's your brick. Okay, and you have it labeled here. Let me undo this. Bring it back. Okay, you have it labeled. Okay, rebar, stirrups, anchor bolt, treated sole plate right there. This is your 2x4 wood stud, the insulation, the brick, the airspace, the sheathing, and so on and so forth. Okay, so we're gonna draw this in the pitch we're gonna use, or that I'm gonna show you. It's 612. You can do it higher or lower. That's gonna be up to you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started real quick. So we're gonna get started with the actual slab. Don't worry about this. We can do this in class. Again, I want you to do this. That way you can get the sizes that you need. So for your foundation, it's 2.6 by 12. Okay, so I'm gonna do it here on the side. Okay, so we're gonna draw it right here. So I'm gonna do a line. Our footing, the depth of it is 2'6". So I'm gonna do a line that is 2'6", and the thickness of it is 12 inches, which is a foot. So we're gonna go with 12 up, and then I'm gonna stop it there. Okay. Now, so we're here. Now I'm gonna do. So in other words, it's something like this. Now the depth of how much we go in. Of course, there's a break line here. Okay, that means it continues 4 feet this way. Okay, again, that we're gonna cut that. Okay, that means that we're gonna you're gonna have a break line right there. All right, so the slab, it's 4 inches. So I'm gonna bring the slab down like that. Now keep in mind we have a brick ledge here. Okay, so for the brick ledge, I'm gonna go down 1.5, and I'm gonna go in 5.5, so I can create my brick ledge. Okay, so I'm just gonna trim and get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, and get rid of that right there. Okay, so that's my brick ledge right there. This is my slab. I'm gonna pull this one up now, and I'm gonna chamfer that 4 inches, 4 and 4, because I want that to be 45 right here. Okay, and also this is 4 right here. So here I'm gonna go to chamfer, distance 4 and 4, and click on this one and click on that one, and there it is. Okay, so we have our foundation part. Okay, again, we're doing this so you can get the members ready, and then we'll finish it in class. So now I want to do the actual wall stud, but first at the bottom we're gonna have to do our sole plate. So that's 3.5 by 1. In reality, we call it 2 by 4, but in reality it's half inch less, so it's 1.5 by 3.5. So I'm gonna do a line. Actually, let me do a P line, and I'm gonna go 1.5 up, 3.5 right, 1.5, and then close. Okay, so that's my sole plate that is going. It's shooting back because I'm in section view. So I'm gonna do a line here, just to show that that's being cut like that. Okay. Now the height of this thing, we want for the top of the plate to be 8 feet. Okay, so it means from the finished floor, from here to the top of the plate, which is here. I think this one have it at 9, but we want 8 up to here. Okay, so from the bottom to the top of the plate, which is where everything's resting, it has to be 8 feet. So I'm going to offset from here 8 feet up, right there. Okay, so that means that my stud is going to go up to that point, but like that. So I'm going to trim it here. So that's my stud. Okay, so this is a sole plate. The stud sits on top of it, but if you remember correctly, it sits on top of the top plate. There's 2 of them. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab this one they already have. That way I don't have to redraw it. I'm going to copy this and put it right on top of this one right there. Right there. Okay, and then I'm going to copy another one. Since we need 2, like that. Okay, so that's my top plate. So it's 8 feet from here to there, right there on top, right here. Okay, but if you remember from the pictures you have seen and from the trip we took, it's 2 pieces of wood running on that direction. Right now it's like in the Z axis, so it's coming towards us or pushing away from us. All right, so this is what we have. Okay, so now you know. In other words, in your case, you will be cutting this right here. You will be cutting this right here. So this is going to be the members you're going to cut. Okay, for your studs. All right, so you can get it from here. That. And they're going to be to the actual size. All right, so now we need the joists and the rafters. Okay, the rafters, it's going to sit right on it. So keep in mind that we said we're going to do the pitch, or the pitch I'm doing is 612. So what I'm going to do, it's I'm going to do actually I'm going to pull it from here. That way you know exactly where to stop it. So I'm going to do I'll do the pitch first. Okay, so the pitch, it's 612, so I'm going to do a line that is 12 and 6 up, right? Because that's the pitch that I want. So it's 12 and 6. So all you do is just connect this point with this point, and that's the pitch that I'm looking for. That's the angle. Okay, I'm gonna grab this line, I'm gonna move it, and I put it right on top of that. Okay, now we still need to cut this, but we're gonna cut it in a bit. So this is the bottom part of my rafter right there. Okay, now I'm going to offset up the actual size of the rafter, which is, it's a 2x6, but in reality it's 1.5 by 5.5. Okay, so I'm going to offset 5.5 or 5.5. So that's my rafter. Okay, I'm going to extend it. Since I want to put another break line here, I'm just going to extend it all the way like that. Okay, that way I know where to stop. Now here we're going to cut this, and I'm going to bring it down 1.5 inches right now, because here it was going to be hard for them to nail here. So I'm going to cut this down 1.5. Okay, so then in reality what they're doing, they're cutting this member here like that. So they're coming like this, they cut that part, they cut this part, so it sits on it. Watch, let me pull it up. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put this right there, that right there, and that right there. So in reality what's going on with that member, it's this, like that. So this is a 2x6, and they cut it so that when they set it on top of the top plate, it sits right on it like that. Okay, so that's what you need to do, and that's what I have here. See, and that one has already the cut. Well, I forgot to trim this part. It should be like that. Okay. Now, so now we have our rafter. Now, how much is it gonna go out? Well, we're gonna offset 1'6". That's gonna be our overhang. Oops, let me break this. Offset 1'6". So that means our overhang is gonna shoot all the way to there. Okay, so we are right here. Okay, but for what we need, we're gonna leave it there. Okay, so that's what you need. So we just trim this part like that. So now you have your, I'm gonna copy this again. Well, I'm gonna do this. You can do this, watch. Once you have this drawn, you can get this section here, and this is gonna be your stud. That way when you cut it, you know where it is. And then I'm gonna grab this right here, and this is gonna be your, and I'll close it over here. This is gonna be your rafter. Okay, so you're drawing it, that way when you cut it, it's exactly the size. So that's your rafter right there. You know exactly where it's gonna cut, so it sits. Okay? Now the other member we need, or that you need, it's gonna be your joist, which is that one right there. Okay, and the joist sits right on top of that. Okay, so what we're gonna do, you notice here, it starts from there and it's gonna run. So I'm gonna do right here, line from here, because it sits right there, and I'm gonna take it all the way to where I'm gonna cut, right? So that way they're aligned, so perpendicular right there. And then the actual stud, it's also a the joist, it's also 2x6, which in reality is 1.5 by 5.5. So I'm gonna offset 1.5 up like that. And now notice, and I'm gonna pull this up, right, because it's a piece of wood. Now this is the piece of wood that we have here. So notice that that part is sticking out, so that needs to be cut. Okay, so if you look over here, see how that's cut right there, and we saw it when we went to that house when it was framed. You guys saw how they cut that, because if not, it's going to be sticking out and the roof won't be able to sit there. So there we go. So I'm going to trim this part like that. Okay, so that's going to be your joist. So your joist is going to be, I'm just going to P-line it. So it's going to be from here to there, to there, to there, to there, and there. So if I move this, that's going to be my joist. So this you already have your rafters, your studs, and your joists, and you have them to the size you want them. So when you cut them, okay. The only thing we're missing are going to be your top plate and your sole plate. Okay. Now the depth of the actual model, and I think I have something like here. There we go. This is the, was it this one? No. Section laser cut. No. Okay. This is the what you're getting. The 3D. Actually, it's it's this one. This is what you're getting for your base for your model. Okay. So we're gonna give this to you 3D printed. Let me give you a different view. Hopefully it's easier to see like this. Okay. So we're gonna give you this. All right. So your sole plate is gonna be, this is your brick ledge, right there, and your wall is gonna start right here. So that means you're gonna have a sole plate right there. I don't have the J bolts. I had them. As a matter of fact, we had them here. See, this is the J bolts. But since I'm not giving you the actual template, you won't be able to cut them exactly so you sit the plate on it. So I just got rid of it. Okay, so you're gonna receive this here as a 3D model already printed, and you're gonna sit your sole plate right here, right there, all the way. Okay, this is your brick ledge. So this brick ledge right here is that right there. Okay, so notice the sole plate is right next to it. So your sole plate is going to be right here. Okay, now I'm showing you this because I'm going to tell you the length of the piece that we're going to give you from here to here is 6 feet. Again, from this edge to this edge, it's 6 feet. So that means that sole plate has to be 6 feet all the way through. Same thing on top. So they're going to be 6 feet by 3.5. Right? 6 feet by 3.5. So I'm telling you that way you can draw those, because you cannot draw them here because it's a different view. So for the sole plate, what you're going to do is do a P line, 6 feet by 3.5. 6 feet and close. There you go. And of course you need 3 of these. 1 bottom, 2 on top. Now how many do we need of these? Well, I'm going to have you do the calculations. Right? If this is 6 feet, how many do you need of the studs you need if they're going to be 16 on center? Okay, so you're going to put one and then another one 16 inches. You're going to put another one, 16 inches, you another one. So you do the math to see how many do you need. And the rafters, there are, our rafters are, where are they? Right here. 2 by 6, 24 inches on center. And same thing the joists, 24 inches on center. Okay, and the stud, we have it here. What are we going to put there? But it's 16 inches on center. So that means you have to do the calculations to see, okay, in 6 feet, my rafters, how many do I need? If I have to put one every 24 inches. Same thing with the joists. So you do the math. And this space you have here for this piece of model that we're going to give you, how many studs do I need? How many rafters do I need? How many joists do I need? So you have to do the math of that. Okay? So go ahead and draw that. We'll finish the wall section in class, complete it like this. But you need to have it drawn like this, at least to this point, so you can get the members and start cutting. All right? So again, sole plate and top plate, studs, ceiling joist, and rafter. Okay. Now, if you want to get better use of your piece of wood that you have there, this one is gonna kind of an angle. Once you have it drawn like this, you can align it. And those of you in basic CAD, you know how to do this. Just to align, and then put align. Grab in this case your rafter. And I'm doing this just so that maybe you can have better use of your piece of wood. Enter, and then first source point right there. Second destination or first destination point, I'm going to put it there too. Second source point, I'm going to put it there. Second destination point, I'm going to put it right here. And enter. Okay, I don't have no third point. And then do I want to scale it? No, I don't. There you go. So it's just going to align it with that line that you have there, and then you can just get rid of the line. Okay. And I did it like this. That way you can, again, make better use of your piece of wood. Okay. So that's how you get your members. Draw it like this up to now. So you should, when you have to class, you should have it up to here, and then we'll just fix everything as we go. Okay. But that you draw it up to here. Is that way you know how you need the members, so how you're gonna get the sizes for the members. Okay, now how do you print them? This right now it's to full scale. So in real, what I'm trying to say is that, for example, this is 6 feet. So of course we're not gonna cut at 6 feet. We need to scale it down. So what I did, and we can do this. The colors we can change them in class, but up to now you're gonna figure out how many do you need. For example, I know I need 3 of these. So I'm gonna just make a copy. Like that, right? I need 3 of these. I think I need, let's say you need 5 of these, and I'm just throwing up numbers. I don't know. You have to do the math. So you can put them like that, right? So you know how many do you need. How many is that? 5, okay. And let's say you need 4 and 4. So you arrange them, put them the way you want them, arrange them, and then we're gonna go to layout. You're gonna see something like this. All right? Disregard it. What I want you to do is do a P line. And that P line, go ahead and do it 24 by 12. Now, why 24 by 12? Because that's the, 12. That is the size of the laser cutter. Okay? Not 34, it's 24. That's the size of the laser cutter. All right? So once you have this, I want you to open a viewport. Viewport. Okay, open a single viewport. Go from corner, click there, and then click here. When you do that, you're going to see everything you have drawn. Of course, I don't want to see that, so I want to see only the pieces of wood that I need to cut. I'm going to double click inside, and I'm going to pan, or move pan it, and I'm going to look for my piece of wood, like that. Okay, because that's what I'm going to print. Now, the scale that we're using is 1 inch equals a foot. Okay, so in model space we drew it the right size. Now we're gonna print it onto a table or a piece of wood that is 12 by 24. Even though the wood is smaller than that, doesn't matter. But we're seeing, so you can see exactly the base of that laser cutter. And then I'm gonna change the scale here to 1 inch equals a foot. Okay, and now just put it where I want it inside that viewport. Make sure it stays 1 inch equals a foot. Double click outside, and then from here we're gonna print it. We're gonna cut them. Okay, so follow those steps. Have it like this when you come to me to cut it. That way we just matter of changes the colors, and we send it to cut. Just make sure again you know how many pieces you need of each. Draw them correctly the way I showed you. Put them. Go to paper space. Do the table that is 24 by 12. Open a viewport. Inside the viewport, set it to the scale that we needed, with 1 inch equals a foot, and bring it like this so we can go ahead and cut it.